So, the State of the Nation happened again.
Yep.
And we all know how that goes down pretty much every year now.
This, fellow South Africans, wasn't the state of the nation. It was a state against the nation. Never forget past injustices. And we must put right the wrongs of the past. As we reflect on the state of our nation, we must ask ourselves, fellow South Africans, how many South Africans enjoy the freedom that Madiba spoke of that day 27 years ago? We heard how 94 patients tragically died. The ANC government, under this president, did that. From the Marikana 34 to the Esidimeni 94, this government has turned against the people of this country. At a stroke, the ANC showed what it really thinks about the vulnerable members of our society. You see, the only thing that this party cares about is power. It cares about getting rich.
Listen properly. 769,820 and 70.
It cares about big projects like the arms deal and the nuclear deal. The ANC has stopped caring for ordinary South Africans.
What do you have against white people in South Africa?
The ANC has turned from liberator of the people to the enemy of the people.
Every time there's something wrong, you blame the white people of South Africa.
Honorable members, let me start by condemning the inhuman living conditions of farm workers all over the country. We also condemn the senseless murders of farmers, including the family of 4 that was brutally murdered in Mpumalanga yesterday, because both of these incidents don't have a place in our democracy.
On the point of order,
have 11 people murdered in this month alone on our farm.
On Thursday evening, we gathered to watch the President's State of the Nation address. Long before we entered this chamber, it was clear that this government wasn't on the same side as the people.
The security is seriously off the hook.
but I've shown you my ID and my drivers and proof of address.
We are raising a simple matter that this cable tie, we took it from a security guy outside. There are 21 policemen, subs, in white shirts. 441 soldiers will never protect you. That no cable ties will be used against members of parliament, including injections with biological weapons here.
As we speak, there are military personnel with R4 rifles and sidearms on the parliamentary precinct in combat fatigues. There are riot police lining the streets outside.
Hierdie is die raadsale waar die wette van die land gemaak word.
That man has broken South Africa and you have broken this parliament.
Honorable member, your time has expired.
Misusing white people for your own inability.
You broke your own rules, so allow me to proceed.
This is a complete disgrace. Those scenes witnesses, no South African should have to witness.
An incorrigible man, rotten to the core.
The needle of the moral compass is indeed wrong.
The fact that majority voted against the Constitutional Court decision, it doesn't make the majority right.
And you must take full responsibility for that. You are the root cause of what we are having in South Africa.
Mr. Zuma has collapsed his own right to address us here.
The leader of the ANC who is here has violated the Constitution.
If you break the Constitution and you can only stand up to the people of South Africa and say, I apologize, How can you expect the people of South Africa to abide the laws of the country?
This shows a president that is not only completely out of touch, but simply does not care about young people.
Op mekaar te vloek.
Hey, no, fuck you,
And take your seat.
Hey, no, fuck you.
And I'm not going to allow members to again be subjected to being called straatmates, being told to F off and called dogs.
En om met geweld verwyderd te word.
If you are not going to cooperate with us, we will peacefully ask you to please leave the chamber.
Honorable Chairperson, you are out of order yourself.
Honorable members,
Agreed on those boys there.
You are so prepared to chase people who violate the rules and keep a man who violate the constitution.
Honorable Malema,
You are prepared to chase out
Honorable
people
Malema,
who are protecting the constitution
please
in the name of the rules.
leave the
If there is
chamber.
anyone who must leave,
Honorable
it's this
Malema,
one.
leave the chamber.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm elected here.
We will assist you to go.
Just kill me. There's no problem. Kill me.
Speaker, Deputy Speaker, with respect, when members of the opposition ignore the instructions of presiding officers, you call in the white shirt and have us chucked out. Why is it acceptable for an ANC member to behave like that and defy your instruction?
And we will never forget the reaction of the man at the center of it all. The president who stands accused of 783 charges of corruption, fraud, money laundering, and racketeering. The president who built his house on the backs of the poor South Africans. The president who is selling our country to foreign agents. The liberator turned oppressor, the true enemy of the people. South Africa will never forget what happened on Thursday. We will never forget how he laughed. How he laughed at the violence visited upon members of this house. It was a laugh indeed of the enemy of the people. The ANC has become the party that Chris Hani warned us when he said, "What I fear is that the liberators emerge as elitists who drive around in Mercedes-Benzes and use the resources of the country to live in palaces and to gather riches." His project and that of the ANC is the accumulation of personal wealth. Noble causes like land reform and black economic empowerment have been captured for the benefit of the ANC's elite.
If you want economic growth to create jobs, put a moratorium on black economic empowerment and affirmative action.
Fellow young people, there is no Messiah that will bring change to the ANC. Not no Ramaphosa, not no Dlamini Zuma, not no one. It is time to vote the ANC, the whole of the ANC, out of power.
Mr. President, are you seriously so afraid of the EFF that you would follow their policies? You must, in fact, know that these policies will lead us down the same failed path as Zimbabwe and Venezuela. The fact of the matter is that your plans have been tried, they have been tested, and have failed everywhere they have been tried.
It is absolutely possible to build a better South Africa for our young people.
The small, medium, and micro-enterprise sector will have our full support because this is where 90% of job-creating potential lies. We will do everything we can to minimize the regulation they face including exempting both small businesses and young people from voluntarily opting out of the minimum wage legislation.
The ANC governs like young black lives do not matter.
We will, fellow South Africans, move this country forwards instead of backwards. We will work with the people of this country and not against them. We will bring hope to this lost generation. Amrena buluke setjhaba sa heso. Nkosi sikelele Africa.
And at the end of it all, Jacob Zuma is still our president.